Right? Give us this day our daily bread as we, those who have against us. Boy, I tell you what, he may have not known the Our Father, but I'll bet he was all over it in his prayer life. And so he devises this scheme. He's going to give his brother all these gifts. The camels, the sheep, the donkeys, the kids, and then he's last, right? Right? Now watch this. Heaven, in the meantime, is still up here. Here's heaven. And here's the eyes of God. Right? The eyes of God looking down on the whole situation. And he says, you got nowhere to run now, pal. You can't go back to Laban because your wife stole his idols. Remember? She hit him. Huh? You remember that? Oh, yeah. Got Laban over here. Esau over here. All these memories in between. And the only hope he's got is a word from God. Guess what? His faith is hizzing. He had a word from God. Go home. Well, Lord, will you give me favor at home? Yeah, he never said he'd spare his life. He just said, yeah, go ahead, it's all right. Never said he'd spare his life. Some of you read things into the Word of God. God said he was going to bless me. How do you know that's not there? Amen. And not here? Oh, God's going to bless me. Whoa, wait a minute. You didn't tell me he was going to kill me. You didn't tell me I wasn't going to be alive. You just told me he was going to bless me. You'd be better off dead. Right? Yeah. Right? Think about this. So, here he is. So, he's remembering. Read, John.
And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night.
Wait a minute. Go ahead. So, he gets to a certain place, right? He's traveling along, and he gets to this place. Right? This place. A certain place. And what was it? And go ahead, read. What else?
And tarried there all night.
And what does he do?
Because the sun was set.
Yeah.
And he took of the stones of that place.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. The stone that the builders rejected has now become the chief of the what? This was the same place that when Jacob was going in, because he was running from Esau, he stayed. And he put his head on the rock. And he had this great dream that God was going to bless him and take care of him. Here he is coming out. He's at the same place, and he gets together the same rocks. Because he remembers. So the stone that the builders rejected is where Jacob lays his head. His head. Nothing happens to you that you don't first think about. And you don't do anything that you don't first. Some of you are pretty smart. You think about it 4 or 5 times. You got a plan going in, one going up, one going down, one going under, one going over top, one going around, one coming in the back door, one climbing in through the window. And if that don't work, I'll come up with another plan. Just give me a chance. God's only got one plan. So Jacob comes to this place. He's there all by himself. Everybody's passed over. They're on the other side of the stones. Jacob's on this side. What's he do, John? Go ahead.
And he took up the stones of that place and put them for his pillows and lay down in that place to sleep.
Go ahead.
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And
This
behold,
is hold on. This is interesting. He dreams. He dreams of the ladders going up from the earth to heaven. A ladder is going up from earth to heaven. Now, I want to submit this to you for your thought process. Right? How many of you believe in your heart? Well, you know the story that he was just going to walk up to Esau and say, "Hey, bro, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. How's things going?" Anybody believe that? No? How was he going to approach him? Yeah. Yeah, humility. He said, "I've sinned against you." Now watch this. In his mind, in his head, were the thoughts of how he was going to approach his brother. And he lays him on the rock. And he says, "Lord, will this work?" That's what he said. Subconsciously, subliminally. That's what he's saying. So what happens? He dreams and he sees a ladder. And he sees angels coming up and angels coming down. Now watch this. A ladder has what on it?
Wrong.
What?
Wrong.
Right? Wrongs. Huh? Your faith every day of your life needs to climb the ladder of God. And you know how you do that? One decision at a time. One decision at a time. Taking every thought captive that exalts itself. Your thoughts. Now what happens if you have a negative thought? There goes this wrong. And another one? And another one? Now how many of you think you can jump from here to here? Huh? And you wonder why your prayers aren't being answered. Huh? You wonder why. So Jacob, he sees these people coming up and coming down. Right? And then, go ahead, John, read me the rest.
And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, "I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed."
So wait a minute now. Let's see if I got this right. I said that the will of God had to be activated through a what? A voice? Did I not say that? So now all of a sudden you got a voice coming out of heaven that he sees up here. A voice preparing the way of the Lord. Huh? The voice of God is now, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done." Go ahead. And he tells him what his will is. He says, the land you're laying on is going to be what? Yours. Because I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He had a name. Go ahead. Read me the rest.
"And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed."
So not only does the voice come down, but when the voice comes down, it has a promise in it. And it's got instruction in it. Huh? Let me tell you something. If you've got a promise from the Lord, you've got instructions. The promise doesn't manifest until you've fulfilled the instructions.